So you are pulled in a lot of different directions. How you have to do a lot of sacrificing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you too.
I do.
I've only just turned 22, right?
Oh my
So
God,
I've
a baby.
only, yeah, and I've only just entered like this corporate industry when I was 18, 19.
That's early. I mean,
It's early.
all of your sacrifices, how you prioritize, all of the, the ups and downs, challenges that you've learned, the lessons, right? Was it worth it?
That's a really hard question.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to MTF. It's me, Samira. And today I have a special guest because my co-host is not here. So I have another co-host, aka guest I'm very excited about, a good friend of mine. And we were like chatting before this podcast started. And I was like, okay, let's get on air first and then let's chat and continue this conversation. So we're back here with Mandy. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, Kassem. I'm good.
You're good.
Tired. I'm exhausted, but I'm good.
Tired, exhausted. You know what? Thank God next week is going to be a long vacay.
It is.
Right?
Like
much
end
needed.
End of next week. Yeah.
End of next week. Q1 was tough for you?
Really tough. I think Q1 is always tough on media.
On media.
Yeah,
okay.
on media. Yeah, because like the Q1 is like not where the time where brands have advertising budget.
Yeah. Right.
But I think that's just how it goes.
Okay, wait. Let's take a step back. Maybe you guys don't know Mandy. I mean, most likely you do, but can you just quickly introduce yourself? I know you don't need an introduction, but I would love to share a little bit about your background, who you are.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Mandy CJ. What am I? I am a creative entrepreneur. I don't know if that's cringy to say that. So I own a media called TFR News. We like to discuss about the business side of creative industry. We like to deep dive to the people, to the brands, to the process behind it. And I'm also a creative individual myself, since I am also known to be a painter.
Yes.
So I like to make painting content on TikTok, on Instagram, and I think that's how I got started in this industry.
Because of painting?
Because of painting, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I got my influence, I guess, because influencer people started to commission my works, and they started posting them, and then people started following, and then from there, I just created a bigger art portfolio, and I amplified that on social media, and that's how I got started.
So you got started as like
a painter.
Visual artist, like a painter.
Yes, a visual artist. And I started when I was like 15.
And she's amazing, guys. If you haven't, like, I have commissioned one of her, and it's hanging in my living room. So I love it. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
When was that? How many years ago?
2015.
Okay, so like
6. I was like, no, 2016. So I was 15.
You were 15. Damn, you were young. And then you started painting, and then because I met you on Clubhouse. We met each other on Clubhouse. The good old days of Clubhouse.
2021.
2021, right? And that was a very, it's the same time. But I thought you were like this activist, or that's what I always thought of you, because you had your own opinions and everything like that, right?
Yeah, I do. I think it grew from painter, and then I joined a sneaker community, and then it turned into like fashion and painting. And then since I also previously worked in another media, and I developed sort of women empowerment content or women focused content, and then that's how I sort of got a women crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, and then on Clubhouse we met, and then that year I resigned, and
that was the year you resigned.
Yeah, I focused.
But did you already had?
Yeah, but it was
media, TFR.
It was TFR, but it was always like a side hustle with me and my partner Christine and Ayu. It was always like something that we do beside our full-time job, you know, or like if they want to write content or make articles, we would amplify it there, but then it's not something that we focused on at the time. That's why the growth was slow in the beginning, but then we're happy with our growth now. I think we have a team of wonderful people in
Yes.
TFR.
Slow and steady growth makes for a solid foundation. So
Yes,
it's all
yes,
good.
yes.
And yeah, very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And you're a creative entrepreneur, so you're always just thinking about the next step. Like, I want to know, does your ideas come to you, or do you kind of go with the flow and you allow yourself to be pulled in different directions?
You know, I think I'm even though I'm an abstract person, I'm very structured. Like I'm
Yeah.
very organized. So I kind of have to go to the industry or go to the flow that I'm in. I have to learn it and then find the missing gaps. And then
Okay.
with those missing gaps, I get ideas.
Okay. So you analyze what you can add value to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think me as a person I'm a visionary. Like I would be like, oh, the world is gonna have to revolve around like digital blah blah blah. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that type of person. I just wanna improve or try to improve or help the lives of people currently.
That's kind of a big vision though. Because you may think that you're adding value in small little gaps. Tapi
It
lama-lama, the more context you have, the more exposure you have, the more experience you have, that platform becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, you have a large platform already sebenarnya.
Thank you, hopefully.
So, okay, so from painter and then became an entrepreneur. So you are pulled in a lot of different directions.
A lot of directions, yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about this off the air just now, like how you have to do a lot of sacrificing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you too.
I do. You know what? I try to kind of like when I brainstorm how to balance, I'm like, okay, listen, give me a solution where I can do everything and tackle everything and not get stressed out or expand my stress level, expand my stress capacity, right?
Yeah.
But I actually think that that's like the wrong way to view it.
I used to think like that.
Right?
Yeah, and then my partners who are older than me said, "Stop it. That's so toxic.
It is toxic.
Hustle culture, you know."
You know what? I used to believe in hustle culture, and I think I kind of still do.
I still do too.
Okay, wait. How many of you guys believe in hustle culture? I'm very curious. So we kind of do.
I kind of do.
I do too,
honestly.
but like it's almost like turn off, turn on, because it's not sustainable.
It is not.
It's not sustainable. It's almost like we're climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
Hustle, 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 hustle. Stop. Rest. Because we're burnt out.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, done. We've enjoyed the view. Hustle, 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 hustle. Stop.
Rest. Yeah. And sometimes I don't even take rest. Sometimes my body just forces me.
Well, you're still young.
To rest.
We're like 15 years apart.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit.
No. Yeah. I mean, like, I just get sick. I don't
Yeah.
take rest. So I think that's. I mean,
I
being
got sick
young
too. I got sick
no.
for like 3 weeks. I was on bed rest.
Oh, me too.
Oh, see, this is why hustle culture doesn't work.
It's not sustainable, and it actually affects like the people I love. They would be like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're okay?" And at the time, I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. This is normal. This is my state of being." But then, when I'm resting, I look back and I'm like, "What am I living for?"
Oh my God.
You know?
Yes. 100%. When we're sick, we're like, all I want to do is just spend time with my close ones. Like, what are we chasing actually in this life? What are we chasing?
I don't even for me, maybe because I'm young, I think the point of my hustle maybe is because of validation.
But you're so validated already.
But it's addicting. It's like
addicting.
It's like a drug,
It is. But then
I don't know. What do you hustle for?
What do I hustle for?
You're comfortable,
Yeah. What do I hustle for?
Recognition?
Maybe. I don't even think it's recognition anymore. Yeah. Maybe when I was younger, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Validation, acknowledgement, recognition from the market, from my peers, right? But now, older, it's more about security, actually. Yeah. But I really don't like living like this because it's almost like if I achieve this goal, either monetary or position or whatever, then I can like hang out. But I don't want to live for that moment. Like we should be living now, because if we're always looking forward, that time when we're chasing that place or achievement, are we actually in the present moment and like living the life that we've worked so hard for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But aren't you like secured? I mean, in terms of everything.
Am I though? Like that's also relative depending on how you define security.
And your standard of living, I guess.
Yeah, standard of living.
Yeah.
Like I tell my husband like the other day, I was like, "Oh, babe, I don't want to work," and he's like, "You don't work, you don't get money." Like at the end of the day, that's why it's work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Money.
So monetary. But then again, is monetary actually like should be a driver for your work if you don't enjoy it? I guess.
I don't think it is a driver for people who work as crazy as us.
I know. Because there's easier ways to get money, actually.
It is. There is. There's always Judy Online.
Okay, let's go back. So I'm pretty sure opportunities are like thrown in your direction constantly. And it's actually hard for you to prioritize, or maybe it's easier for you. I don't know. But you said that you have to give up on your initial passion that even brought you to this place, which is painting, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, how does that make you feel?
At first, it made me really sad because, like, I started off as a KOL and influencer.
Yeah.
So I still get a lot of inquiries about KOL jobs or shoots or, like, a partnership with brands that I really love. But then sometimes if the timeline is not right with the schedule I have in my corporate life, in my work life, I have to unfortunately turn it down because there was this one time, an incident like a couple years ago where I took too much endorsements or like not endorsements, like brand partnerships with Mandy CJ branding that I completely do not have time with the other media that I own, like TFR, and then that really affected my partner and my team and the growth of it. So and then they began like so where's your focus, you know? And it made me feel really bad,
right?
That because at that point, because I was so distracted in the distractions from TFR, that I couldn't even focus on the brand partnerships that I already dealt with the Mandy CJ branding, you know. So at the end of the day, it's like kayak jadi tumpah-tumpah semua.
Yeah.
You know. And
so how did you conclude that?
I think I just had like fortunately my partner is a very
wise,
empathetic person.
And she's very wise.
She's wise, and she's also much older than me, right? Not saying that is a bad thing. She wiser. She wise. Yeah.
She wise.
She wise. So she sat me down and she talked about like how everything affected everything. And I also took a step back after everything was over, and I was like, okay, I cannot do everything all at once.
Yeah.
I cannot be greedy at this stage because I have other priorities that I've already signed up for.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes the Mandy CJ branding only affects
you,
right? And sometimes we forget as KOLs, like we work for ourselves. But if you have a partner, if you have another business, you actually work for a different purpose. Unless you take yourself as a brand, you know. But since TFR, I know it's a platform to like amplify or encourage visual artists like me. That's where I find my focus leads to.
Okay.
You know.
And so how do you like compromise or do you consider that a sacrifice?
I think I consider that a sacrifice now because of course it affected me monetarily, you know. So sometimes like when I don't get the deals, then I don't get the instant money, right? But also at the same time, I know that this is a wiser decision for the future because I'm investing that someplace else to a bigger platform where other people can be much more affected. Yeah. You know, so I think like because I have my youth and I also have a privilege of still having parents, you know, and also that I'm still financially secured, I am able to allocate that life to another platform. Yeah, right. You know.
Yeah, I understand. I think it's about understanding when we give up opportunities Or when we take all of our opportunities,
Mhm.
we may think, oh, it's just like a day, or
Yeah,
it's just
a
like
day.
it's just like a couple hours.
Yeah.
But it's like taking up a lot of our mental
Yeah.
space
It
as
is.
well,
It
right?
is.
And that mental space that we can be creative or
Yeah.
invest in our existing baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know, like when a door closes, a window always opens. That's
You
what
think
I
so?
always think. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard to believe sometimes,
It
when
is.
we have this opportunity and
It
we're
is.
like,
It
oh,
is.
it seems so attractive.
It is.
But then, with time, you kind of do realize that other aspects of your life, your family, your
Yeah,
parents,
yeah.
for me, my children, are actually blessings and rezeki juga
It
gitu,
is, it is.
And we can't take that for
Yeah,
granted.
and sometimes even if I do have time to take these brand deals that I really
Yeah.
love, or a painting commission to somebody that I
Yeah.
really adore, sometimes I sacrifice that just to spend time with the ones I love. Not
Yeah.
only work for work, but also work for me,
Yeah.
for my emotional nourishment, because I know that I'm still young. My parents are still at an active age right now. My friends too, my boyfriend too. Sometimes I feel the guilt for not being there because I'm so obsessed with my own career, with my own path. So I have to it always refreshes me and it always humbles me down every time I take the time to reconnect with them and have a day out with them or spend the weekends with them. Itu jarang banget, but I really need to use that to nourish myself and
I feel like
have
then
my own
that's
growth.
I feel like that is actually what's going to give you longevity.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Because if you just pack everything in and have that urgency,
Yeah.
sampai kayak you get burnt out until maybe it takes even longer to recover.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
true.
and I also feel like that's what keeps you grounded. Okay, so you mentioned you were really into running, but then you
Yes.
had to stop.
Yes.
So let's rewind. How did you get into running?
So I got into running because in the creative industry, people think that it's very, very sexy and it's
Right.
fun, but it's actually a lot of laptop work. So I just started doing this and then started hunching. Terus jadinya my shoulders become rounded and I don't like how it looks. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just get into running again. And since I was like, I don't want to pay to exercise, so I just wanted to hop into my mom's exercise program.
Yeah.
So I started exercising with a lot of
Older.
and e, but then they're very active, they're so much stronger than me. So I was like, okay, this is a different lifestyle, the way they speak is also more responsible, and I think that kind of also made me grow up much faster, because every morning I meet them much more than I meet a lot of my friends. And every day we just meet every 6 a.m. in the morning. We'd have hit high intensity interval trainings, and then they just started running for a kilo, and then after a long time of running a kilo, and then it became easier, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just do a 5 kilo because I'm Aries like that. And then
You're Aries like that? Is that are they really ambitious, Aries?
They're competitive and very ambitious.
Aries. What is that, March?
March, April.
Oh, March, April. Okay. Is your birthday come up or already?
Already, April 1st.
Oh.
April, I'm a joke.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, got it.
What are you?
I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah, I get
that
Capricorn,
vibe?
yeah.
You get
I get that vibe.
You get that vibe.
Yeah, and then we just started running, and then jadi dari Ancol ke FX, and then we do it every.
Ancol ke FX?
No. I mean
okay.
dari Ancol terus ganti because bosen kan di Ancol.
Where do you
terus.
live?
Ancol.
Oh, you live in Ancol?
So far away.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a time that I ran from Senopati to Menteng, then back again.
Yeah. So what was the ultimate highest kilo?
Oh, not a lot. It was around 15.
Oh, that's
only.
A good amount.
Yeah, but it was. I wanted to do a half marathon.
No, you'll get there.
I'll get there, but
because running is it also goes in waves, right?
Yeah.
You're really into it, and then you take a break. You
Yeah.
So,
but your pace is crazy.
No, I mean you'll get to it. You can totally reach that, and you were gonna reach that soon.
I was gonna reach that.
You were pretty good.
It really taught running. The habit of running really taught me a lot about mentality in work.
Yeah.
Because I've only just turned 22, right?
Oh my God,
So
a
I've only
baby.
and I've only just entered like this corporate industry when I was 18, 19.
That's early. I mean,
It's early, but from the get-go, since influencing is just a very instant job for me, it comes a lot easier. I thought that, oh, you know what, my career would come that easy as well. So I think for like a year or so, I was always like kind of like, udahlah, I'll get this, I'll get that opportunity. Because for me, I'm really blessed that I understand my privilege of getting opportunities much easier than others. That for a time I underestimated it, you know. And then
what made you appreciate it? What came to you?
I think what came to me is time, you know. Just by time you kind of realize kayak kok susah ya, kok gue jadi stagnan ya, you know. The moment you realize that it's been such a long time that you're only there in one position makes you reflect on a lot of things kayak how come someone can grow from A to B that fast tapi gue lama banget gitu. So that means there's something wrong with me dong, something wrong with the way that I'm leading this venture.
Okay.
Ya kan? And jadinya I was like, and learning also from a lot of other my partner's friends yang kayak udah 30 years old, udah 27, who's been in the corporate industry much longer. They tell their experiences that, this is actually not normal. You actually have the privilege of meeting someone like you, whereas probably someone 22 starts off as an intern and you're their boss, you know.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm here being a guest speaker to you.
But I think it's also dependent on the risk that you've taken, right? You took a lot of risks early on. 16, 17, 18. Not a lot of people do that, right?
Yes. But it is, but also in a way, I understand that I have my privilege of taking those risks. Because probably someone not from my financial background
could not afford
to take it or do not even have the freedom or the creative space to think of taking something like that. So it all comes about from my blessings and my privilege. So I think that's how I sort of like see it, you know, like I get this God or the universe gave me this space and I underestimated it. But now because of running, because of meeting so many people much older than me or from a different background than me, I sort of understood that, my life is such a bubble. I have to explore, learn more, and, you know, take it day by day. It's all about day by day. Because also at the time, like, yes, I bring in a lot of projects, but also my team probably did not respect me that much because A, I was really young, B, I was not a good leader. I disappeared a lot of times. I was inconsistent, and all I did was like bawa, lempar, hilang. You know, and that's a thing with like.
When did that change?
Probably last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, last year, around 2 years. I think.
You're like, I'm gonna take responsibility. I'm gonna take more ownership.
Yeah. No. I think of course, my partner sat me down. She's like,
oh, you're right.
She just like straight to my face, like, you're being a shit person right now.
I see.
Being a fucking shit partner. Oh, sorry. You're being a bad partner. So you have to step it up, you know?
Okay, now let's bring it back because you said that running actually taught you a lot about that. And so what?
So I think through that phase of like, I guess a follow like rejection, I guess, I was mentally challenged. I was really sad and I wouldn't say depressed, but I was like anxious like every day. Like, what did I do wrong? Because at the time I was stuck in a cycle that I didn't realize the cycle, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I just took time. I had more time to sort of reflect. I couldn't sleep, lebih tepatnya juga. So I just started like waking up earlier.
You know, for a young person, you shouldn't be dealing with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand, but also
that's like midlife crisis kind of.
It is.
Midlife crisis kind of narrative.
It is.
Not being able to sleep, like anxious, you know.
I mean, a lot of students go through that, I think.
Really?
Like, I think a lot of students go through that.
I feel like I was so carefree until like.
Yeah, but I know this is the path that I chose. I don't think I can take it back.
And I feel like because of the path you chose, you have a lot of privilege and a lot of
I
opportunity,
do.
but also itu a burden as well. That's a sacrifice that
is.
you decide to take
It
on
is.
as well.
It is. Sometimes, I definitely sacrifice like the carefree
Mm-hmm.
part of my life by being a college student abroad, because that was the path that I was supposed to take,
And you didn't.
and I did not take it because I wanted to kembangin business di sini kan.
Do you regret it?
Honestly, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, because I ended up bringing in my reckless teenage phase into an adult industry.
Hmm.
And I've made a lot of personal mistake that cross passes to professional. So it affected my reputation, of course, my, I guess, integrity juga.
Yeah.
And jadinya for a time I was really malu, like
Yeah.
embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a child.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
at least you acknowledge, like you.
I do acknowledge that, but I think if I did went to college, I wouldn't be this, I wouldn't be that curious or that rebellious, because of the path that I chose. But it's something that I chose beforehand, right?
Do you think that you were in a rush?
Yeah.
Do you think you still are?
No.
But you're 22, right?
I'm 22. Yeah.
22. So 22, actually, you can still call yourself like a young adult. Like you
Yeah.
could actually list down all of your responsibilities and you can be like, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah.
And almost, I wouldn't say regress.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be regressing, right? It wouldn't be like going back to your high school years, but it would almost be regressing to a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think that you would want to do that?
Now?
Yeah.
No.
No, right?
No. Because
you know too much.
I know too much. Second, yaudah, I started this path, masa nggak finish it,
Yeah.
I would be a coward, I think.
But there's so many paths that you can start and end in a life.
True,
right?
true.
Like
but
your painter phase, do you think it's done?
no,
It's just on pause.
It's just on pause. I don't think that's something that I will ever cut off from me, because I know that sometimes when I haven't painted, misalnya for 6 months, my hands would get itchy again.
Yeah.
There's that urge in me to create something, and I know that maybe once this career phase of mine, like a corporate career phase of mine, died down, I know that I'm gonna go back to painting to where I started.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a moment,
full
a full circle moment, right?
Just don't rush, right?
Yeah.
Just don't rush. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to be in like your 30s or 40s and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh my God, why did I have so much responsibility in my 20s? Because like this is
Yeah.
real responsibility now.
No, I think someone told me. I think a friend of mine told me, who's also my age, just said like, Mandy, your 20s is where you're the youngest, tightest, and the best looking that you've ever gonna be.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna come back. So make sure you choose what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm stressing about work every day.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Even like when you're in your 30s and 40s, I think we shouldn't stress about work.
Really?
I don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
Life is too
anymore.
short.
Life is too short, for sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't know.
That's it. So, last question before we wrap it up. All of your sacrifices, how you've prioritized all of the, the ups and downs, challenges that you've learned, the lessons, right? Was it worth it?
That's a really hard question. I don't think as of this stage, or I don't think ever, that I will measure my life's worth through the amount of success or followers or money I make per year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would measure it through the people around me, who's the people around me, and how do I feel around them. So I think if I calculate it through that, yes, it's worth it, because I love everyone around me, and I keep a really close circle, and I choose and pick who I communicate with, or like have a relationship with daily.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy, and I feel so secure. So I think if the path led me to them, then yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
And I just wanted to add, right? Like, I followed you before I met you.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are some people, individuals, who they're so much more interesting on their social media, right?
Yeah.
But I can tell you 150% Mandy is like so much better than her social media, her digital presence. Like you are just like beyond and
Thank
so,
you.
as I mentioned, humble and just like down to earth. Like,
Thank you.
so you are totally worth it.
Thank
Worth
you.
knowing and worth having in my life. Like I love having you.
Thank you, Kasem.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can catch up soon, yeah.
yes.
On a run maybe.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Stellars, and thank you, L'Oreal Paris.
Thank you,
for always
L'Oreal.
supporting.